Good Friday morning, and thank you so much for watching this time of devotional. I pray that you will be blessed, you'll be encouraged for the day and the days to come. I also want to congratulate all our graduates. I know this was the last week for many of you to get done with school finals and to pray to see what is next for all of us. So congratulations from us. We've discovered many prayer rooms. We spoke about Jonah and Daniel, David, Esther. Well, today's prayer room is found in a deep and dark prison cell. I want to talk about Paul and Silas. I know many of us have heard a lot of sermons, know the character, the person of Paul, his conversion, Saul riding his horse and then meeting Jesus Christ. But not too many of us know much about Silas. So let me tell you a few words about him. He was a leader and a teacher in the church of Jerusalem. After the Jerusalem Council, Silas was chosen to help communicate the council's decision to the church in Antioch. So with the Apostle Paul, that's where they go. Soon afterwards, when Paul sets out to his second missionary journey, he chose Silas to accompany him. Later, we heard about Timothy joining this group. Well, it was on their journey when Paul and Silas traveled to Greece. In Philippi is where these missionaries were arrested, beaten, and imprisoned. Let me read you a few verses from Acts chapter 16, from verse 23. And when they had laid many stripes on them, they threw them into prison, commanding the jailer to keep them securely. Having received such a charge, he put them into the inner prison and fastened their feet in the stocks. But at midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to the Lord, and the prisoners were listening to them. And suddenly there was a great earthquake, so that the foundation of the prison were shaken, and immediately all the doors were open and everyone's chains were loosed. I love this story. What an uncomfortable and unusual prayer room, don't you agree? A deep and dark prison cell, having their feet fastened into stocks. Praying midnight, and not only praying but singing hymns. Friends, I want to remind you today that unusual prayers prayed from unusual prayer rooms will move God's hand in an unusual way. That is faith, that is hope, that our God is always with us. We just read about a great earthquake. I feel like that was God's way to remind them that no matter how deep that prison cell is, He is with them. We just read that the foundation of the prisons were shaken. It was God reminding them that He is the Almighty God, the All-Powerful. Immediately the doors were open. I love this phrase. Friends, the same doors that closed them to quiet them, to stop their prayers, to stop their praise, those doors were open when these two faithful men of God prayed in the midst of their circumstances. So I ask you that no matter how deep our pain gets, no matter how dark our days become, never stop praying and praising. Never, because that's where miracles will happen. And as closing says that everyone's chains were loosened. Whatever you pray and the miracles you receive in that quiet room becomes everybody's testimony. You become the light for others. You lead them into Christ. I love that they're not just praying and praising for themselves, but before you know, they become the light in that dark prison. Jesus said, we are to pray to the Father, and who is in that secret place. And the Father who sees our secret prayers will reward us openly. Let me close by reminding you a few words from Charles Spurgeon. He says, fiery trials make golden Christians. Do not be afraid of trials. Do not be afraid of praying in some dark rooms, in dark circumstances, because that's where our faith in trials, it becomes a golden testimony of what God can do in your life. God bless you.